Hi, here's Multi, and welcome to the 10th episode of the NHL season series where we go through the whole NHL in the alphabetical order by the name of the team. And because today is the 10th episode and the first one being the intro episode for the series, we got the last team starting with C, which is Columbus Blue Jackets. In these episodes, we go through the team's Wikipedia page that tells something about their history and that sort of stuff, where they play, what conference, what division, etc. etc. And then also we take a look at their officials, NHL team and .com, what they have said about the roster of theirs, what it might be, and who are potentially to be in the roster. And then we also take a look at the prospects that may break through the next season to some other season in the future. We take a look at them and do a speculations from my point of view. So if you aren't satisfied on my opinions, please do tell me what I should do better and how can I improve these things. So remember guys, all these opinions are on my point of view. I have some opinions that just don't make any sense, but we'll just see how it goes today. But starting with the Wikipedia page of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Let's go. And here we have it, guys. Columbus Blue Jackets does play in the Eastern Conference in the Metropolitan Division, and it was founded in 1997. And it didn't start at the same year, which was a little strange. 3 years, and then they started, I don't know what they did the 3 years, because they started their NHL career in year 2000 and of course to the present. But that tells you that here's a young team and they haven't got that much history yet, but hopefully in the near future they will. And we've taken in every episode look at this season by season record, and it tells you for the 5 past seasons. And here's the Columbus Blue Jackets point of view. As we can see from here, they haven't done great in the regular season, and only once they've reached their playoffs, and it was in the year 13-14 when they lost to Penguins 2-4. But those seasons don't matter that much for us, because we take a look for the next season, and the last season tells you a little bit from it. And I remember that they were pretty close to being to the playoffs, but because it was so tough, and I think Ottawa played pretty well the end of the season, and they just reached the top. It was very close. Did the Columbus made the playoffs or not? And they didn't. As we can see, they were 5th in the Metropolitan, and 4 can only get in. So it's about 2 or 3 points, but it doesn't matter at that point anymore. If you don't have a chance, you just have to win those games. Like Columbus lost 5 times in the OT. If they would have won all of them, they would have 47 wins. Definitely would have been in the playoffs, but what you gonna do? And I think that's about it from the Wikipedia page. It tells you a lot. Be sure to check them out. A lot of info that we don't have the time to go through, but hopefully you will find some space from there, from your time space to check. But we have time for the roster, and now we're gonna jump right into it. And here we have it, guys. As usual, I pick some players that are interesting from my point of view, and I tell you about from them. First one being Cam Atkinson, decently young, right-handed shooter, plays in the right wing and kind of small, very quick, can move the puck well, and as I've said, a very good shooter for the team. Matt Calvert, I'm not gonna take a closer look, but I like his game style and also a very good shooter. David Clarkson, I'm going to pick him because when he came here from the New Jersey Devils back to but still was traded, I think, to Columbus Blue Jackets. He had very high hopes for him. He just had scored 30 goals, and what he done? What did he do the next season? I will just have a look. Brendan Dubinsky, very good center. I really like him in the face-off ring. Yeah, came from New York Rangers some years ago. I think he's Columbus's second line center, very quality, can play in the power play also, in my opinion. Nick Foligno, the captain, had a solid season last season, likes to be on the offense and defense, likes to hit, likes to do pretty much everything that doesn't harm the team. I think he's a real solid team player for them. This new guy, Markus Hennikainen, last season he played for Yip in the Finnish Elite League. Very small, 6'1". It doesn't seem that small, but in my opinion he's very small, 189. But if we compare him to Atkinson, then Atkinson is a real kid. But Hennikainen has a really solid vision on the ice. That sort of player that may, in my opinion, next season he won't be there playing for Columbus, but hopefully will get some time in the AHL, and that way at some point play in the NHL, because he's still young, a Finnish player. Ryan Johansson, their youngster. Luckily they signed him a year ago for a long-term contract. Played a really solid season. Kirby Reichel, one of Columbus' original draft picks, has done really well in the juniors. Hopefully will keep on going that in the NHL. Don't remember him playing that much last season. I'm sure he might have played. Brando Saad, they just got him from a trade that included Marco Dano going the other way. So they lost a really good prospect, but got a hell of a player. Was one of the better players in the Blackhawks organization last season. Alexander Wenberg, a really young Swede. High hopes for him. Really solid has been. It seems like he's playing as a center, and hopefully will. I think he's played already in the NHL, but hopefully will have his breakthrough season, like something like 40 points or so on. But there's a room for a second liner because Dubinsky is getting old at some point. I think he's 29, but still there's a spot for someone to take this defense. The most solid one, in my opinion. Jack Johnson has played many years in his career. I think he was originally Los Angeles draft picked some years ago. Was it 06 or 07? I can't remember for sure, but really solid. Has played for USA's national team Then we go, I think Ryan Murray was the second overall pick in some years ago in draft. Has been solid for Columbus Blue Jackets' back end, but hopefully will get his offensive game on for more, because that's what they want from him. David Savard, a really solid one. I just had read that he got a new contract for the team. I think it was 5 or 4 years. I think it's 5. I'm going to say. I'm not definitely sure, but still, I'm going to say it was 21.25 million, which is a hell of a lot of money. And I'm not going to take a look at Fedor Tayutin, but he's the experienced defenseman that they definitely need in the defense. And then one of the better goalies in the whole league, Sergei Bobrovsky, and also they got many other players like Ante Forsberg and Jons Korpisalo that may play in the AHL. Hopefully Korpisalo gets some a time to experience the NHL atmosphere, because he was solid in SM Liga and hopefully will get his time to shine. But now we take a look at the closer look to the players that I chose. Cam Atkinson is 26 years old, was a 6th round pick, so that's pretty low. Originally from Columbus, so they've done like a long trip from little bottom to the top, even though 6 rounders and that sort of players, they've worked their ass off to reach the career and their dream to being in the NHL, and Atkinson has done it well, has had solid couple of seasons. 40 points is decent. Maybe his potential is, in my eyes, in 50, but hopefully we'll have this scoring influence on the team next season as well. Dave Clarkson, 31 years old, doesn't show where he was drafted, or was he undrafted, then don't know, but he definitely played in the juniors, as we can see from here. This 11-12 season was very good for him. I remember him being and getting the new contract that he has, I think, nowadays also, and it's ridiculous in my opinion, because look at these points in the 14-15 season for Maple Leafs. Oh, and it seems like he's a new sign. I didn't remember that, but still 15 points for this kind of player is way too low. He needs to get back to the 20 goals at least, and 40 points. I think that would be realistic for him. Brendan Dubinsky, same sort of player as Clarkson, perhaps not that physical, like playmaker, likes to do defense and offense both ways, can score points. 50 points is very realistic for him if the Columbus succeeds well. Nick Foligno, first round pick for Ottawa. I think he didn't get his career running there that great. Well, one season had a great season, but definitely when he gave the Blue Jackets in 12-13, made a couple of adjustments. I think he had some injury problems there, looking on the games played then, but last season was very good. I think they made one of the better pairings in the whole league with Ryan Johansson. We take a closer look next, but 31 goals and 42. Columbus was a really solid team last season, and Foligno was a big part of that. Ryan Johansson, 2010 entry drafts, first round pick, 4th overall for Columbus. As I've said, the contract problem with him it was very close that he didn't choose any other club, but luckily they kept him in the team. As we can see, 71 points, very solid season. The rookie seasons weren't that great, but it doesn't matter if you get into this form. The later seasons, Kirby Reichel, now we can see, was last season, his rookie season, but yeah, he was the first round pick for Columbus in the 2013, and it doesn't seem like that it was the whole season, so the next season will be rookie season, and I think he will start in the NHL. He's a really solid point scorer, as we can see from his Ontario Hockey League's time, and has played in the Canadiens World Junior Championship, and last season got used to the professionals game in the AHL side. So looking forward to seeing him on the left wing. Same thing with Brandon Saad, the player who they just got from the Chicago Blackhawks. Really couple solid seasons back there on the Western Conference. Hopefully he'll adjust to the not so great team. If you compare Columbus and Chicago, in my eyes Chicago might be a little better, but I think there's a spot for Saad in the second line, and definitely will be a goal scoring player. He is similar to Foligno, a little bit smaller, I think, but I like playing style, pretty similar. Alexander Wennberg played his rookie season, as we can see, 68 games played and minus 19. That's not really good, but I think he played in the fourth line, and that's definitely not his position, but rather you play in the fourth line in the NHL than in the first line in the AHL. I think NHL experience is much more respected than players, and if I would play there, I definitely want to play the NHL games rather than the AHL games. No respect to the AHL, because you can, well, it depends from a player. If they're like Wennberg, he's skilled, and the GM wanted to get these young players to the system and know how it feels like to get hit by a little bit tougher guys. Perhaps that's how it is on. We don't know for sure, but he also played for the Sweden Olympics team, and it seems like he played pretty well. I think was Sweden the second, or don't know for sure. Then, as we can see, Jack Johnson. Okay, he was drafted originally by Carolina, but he was traded from Los Angeles Kings. Okay, I didn't remember that he was originally from Carolina. Let's see. Okay, but he didn't play any games for them, so that's like a little mystery there. Had a decent season there, one of the most succeeded defensemen for the Columbus organization last season. 40 points is great for him. He can play either way, power play and power kill, so very solid defenseman. Ryan Murray, better on the offensive side, said first round pick, second overall, and has played his rookie seasons but hasn't made that much of points or that. It seems like from his points, I've always thought that he's a scoring defenseman, but his points doesn't seem like it. But I think he's then better on the own end. Plus minus still was on plus, but he only played 12 games that season. I think he then had some injury problems, I'm sure, but I think because he played so little games. Very solid in the blue line as well. David Savard, he's got a great slap shot, I think. and last season was very good, 36 points, nearly the same as Jack Johnson. I think they created defensive pairing there. 11 goals is 11 goals for this sort of defenseman is good. He likes to shoot, and his slap shot, as I said, is like out from this world. Sergei Bobrovsky, the team's clear starting netminder, had some little. I think he had some little injury problems because there's no way that Curtis McIlney, even though he's a great solid goaltender, would have got so much like time. The coaches would give more time to Bobrovsky. I think he's 60 game goalie, 65 your season, even though that's much. And you need to give your other goalie a chance. And I think he won a Veterinary trophy, or at least he was on the final. Not known for sure. It would have been a great ad for this site to tell if they won any trophies, but at the moment I don't know. Was it this season that he was really solid? I think because 1.7 goals allowed per game. No, 2.38. I'm not even sure what's this then. Might be shots acquired. Not for sure, but definitely a solid Russian goaltender, and I think he is the starting goalie for Russia's national team. And there we have it, the roster, and now we get to the younger guys that we haven't checked from there, and there are pretty solid ones. Oliver Bjorkstrand, a Danish, alright, and a shooter. I think he plays in the right wing. Sonny Milano, I think he was last year's draft pick. Then we've got Markus Nutivara. I'm gonna take a closer look, and I even didn't know that he was a part of the Blue Jackets organization, but as we can see, he's from Oulu, so well, not for sure, but he plays in Kärpät, one of the better teams in the Finnish Elite League, gets loads of minutes, and we know that Jarmo Kekalainen is there being the manager, so he takes a look also from the Finnish league, these players. And there's also another defenseman, Veetivainen. Last season was he drafted in the 4th round, solid, plays for Blues, not the St. Louis but Espoo, solid. I think he is a left-handed shooter. As we can see, very tiny, 169. LeBlanc 557. No offense, but you need to get some more mass from when you go there. Zachary Werenski, I think he was the first round pick last season. Was Milano last season? No, Werenski was, and the year before that Milano was, and Oskar Dansk has played for the Swedish under 20s. But let's take a closer look at Bjorkstrand. Has played for World Junior Championship and for World Championships for Denmark. Really solid points in the Western Hockey League. Probably will get to start his season in AHL. Hopefully gets a chance to feel the NHL moment in a couple of games. I think he will not be ready for next season. He needs to get some power on his play and some strength as well. Sonny Milano, solid, played for World Junior Championships and in the AHL. I think he should get the chance to start in the league. I think he's a pretty solid player in the left wing, has the point scoring ability, and is in the same sort of situation as Weinberg was in at the start of the last season. So may not get his point on the top two lines where he is supposed to be playing, but may play in the fourth line and get some experience for the game. I'm expecting huge things from this guy. Same included with Sergei Werenski, the defenseman from USA, has played for university, so I think he'll play in the university and for the US national development team if he can play there. I'm sure with the system there, but really haven't seen much play, but I think he's a solid one. At least his potential is solid because he's our first round pick and 8th overall. So maybe in a couple of years we can see him play in the AHL or maybe also in the NHL. Time tells. And there Oscar Dansk, as a second round pick for Columbus Blue Jackets, has played for AHL and many seasons in the Swedish Elite League. Yeah, I think Brynäs plays in the Swedish Elite League and Ontario Hockey League for the area others. I think he was in goal when Finland won the under-20s championship in the 13-14 season, but he was on the losing side for Sweden. Not good for him, but good for the Finns. I remember that very clearly, let's say. Hopefully we'll start for the AHL and get more professional games there. I think they've got they need a second goalie for Curtis McElhinney, but in the AHL they've got things sorted out, and I think this is it. So we've gone through the team and how they may play, and what sort of, well, not how they play, but what's their roster may look like for the team, and so how will they perform in the season. In my opinion, I think when they last season were close to reaching the playoffs, this coming season they're going to take their place in the playoffs because they're a very good team. I think they are developed a lot. I'm expecting big things from Wennberg and these sort of players to reach their potential a little bit higher. And also in the defense looks pretty solid for me. They've got some young guys there and some experienced guy. The goaltending is on a great level when Bobrovsky is on this game, and normally he is. Hopefully we'll get the second goalie thing sorted out, but as I said, in my eyes they will reach the playoffs. And well, I'm not sure are they on the top of the division. Eastern division and Western division are so tough, so but I think they will make it. And this is all about the Columbus. Then next time we will go and take a look for Dallas Stars. That will be the 11th episode. So if you enjoyed this series, be sure to check the previous episodes as well. I enjoy making these, so hopefully you enjoy as well watching these. As I said, Dallas, and I think this is about all of it. And remember guys, use nothing. Bye.